The night it happened felt ordinary, which is what makes it unbearable to remember. I was running late, my phone buzzing nonstop, my head full of unfinished thoughts and half-formed excuses. The office happy hour was supposed to be quick. One drink, polite laughter, then home to my husband, who always waited up even when he pretended not to. I told myself I deserved a break. That lie was small, almost harmless. At least that's how it started. The bar was louder than I expected. People from work I barely knew suddenly acted like old friends. Compliments were thrown around casually, alcohol smoothing edges that should have stayed sharp. I remember laughing too hard at a joke that wasn't funny. I remember liking the attention more than I should have. He was a colleague from another department. Someone I'd spoken to maybe 3 times before that night. He listened too intently, leaned in too close. I should have stepped back. I should have mentioned my husband. I should have left. Instead, I stayed. The mistake didn't feel like a decision in the moment. It felt like slipping on wet ground. Sudden, stupid, irreversible. One kiss turned into another, fueled by alcohol and ego and the reckless belief that consequences belonged to tomorrow. Tomorrow arrived faster than I expected. I woke up with a pounding head and a sickening clarity. The room wasn't mine. The silence wasn't comforting. Shame wrapped around me like a second skin. I didn't need to check my phone to know I had crossed a line that couldn't be erased. I went home before the sun fully rose. My husband was in the kitchen, making coffee the way he always did on weekends, even though it wasn't one. He looked up and smiled, the same smile that had carried me through years of good days and bad ones. That smile broke me more than anger ever could. I confessed, not because I was brave, but because the lie was already choking me. At first, he didn't react. He just listened. His face emptied of expression, like a room being cleared out. When I finished, he nodded once, slowly, as if confirming something he'd already suspected. Then he asked one question. Was it worth it? I couldn't answer. That was when everything changed. He didn't scream. He didn't cry. He didn't throw anything. He did something far worse. He became methodical, precise, cold. He told me to sit. He told me to listen. His voice was calm in a way that scared me more than shouting ever could. He said trust, once shattered, doesn't get glued back together. It gets replaced. Over the next days, he went nuclear in ways I never imagined. He told both our families. He told our friends. Not with insults or exaggerations, just facts, clean, undeniable. I watched relationships tilt as people looked at me differently, like I was something cracked they hadn't noticed before. He moved out of the bedroom. Then, a week later, he moved out of the house. I begged. I apologized until the words lost meaning. I offered therapy, space, time, anything. He listened every time, politely, patiently, like someone hearing a sales pitch he'd already decided to reject. Then he served me divorce papers. I thought that was the end of it. I was wrong. He rebuilt his life in plain sight. New routines, new goals, new confidence that didn't include me. He stopped responding emotionally, then stopped responding at all. The man who once memorized my coffee order now treated me like a closed chapter. People called him ruthless, unforgiving, extreme. They didn't call him broken because he never let them see that part. The irony was cruel. I had called it a silly mistake, a moment, a lapse. But I was the one waking up alone every night, replaying everything I had destroyed in minutes. When the divorce was finalized, he didn't ask for revenge. He asked for peace. He didn't want the house. He didn't want to argue over money. He just wanted out. The last time I saw him, months later, he looked lighter. Not happy. Just unburdened. He wished me well. Genuinely. That hurt more than hatred ever could. Now, when people ask what happened, I tell them the truth. I loved my husband. I made a mistake, and he chose himself. I learned something the hard way. Some people don't explode when you hurt them. They go silent. They rebuild. And they leave you standing in the ruins, finally understanding the weight of one careless choice.